Welcome to Fringe D&D Live. For those of you watching through the intertubes, we are finishing rolling up some character attributes, and then we'll be diving into the adventure, hopefully within 5 minutes. Ooh. Ticking clock.
All right, so who is next? We got Phazor and we got Alvar. How about I made these names and I can't say them. Ezeldor, the Destructive.
Ezeldor needs some assistance.
Well,
Ezeldor. Do you have the Google Dice Roller up?
I have it open, yes.
Awesome. Click on the 20-sided die and it should automatically roll for you.
It did, yes.
Awesome. What'd you get?
18.
18. You have a specialization in the occult.
Perfect.
All right. Rakias the Wild.
I got 7.
7. You're good at archery for some reason.
Oh, okay. This goes under player pick for abilities, or
Yes, sir.
okay.
And Chase, what is your character name again? I forget.
Ralkier Lightfoot.
Ralkier Lightfoot.
And I got a 20.
Ooh, you're super good at politics.
Sweet.
All right, that should be everybody. Everybody's got their skills.
Ralkier is the worst. I can't stand that guy.
Oh, thanks, man.
I think we probably all need edit access on these bad boys.
Reload if you can't edit.
Oh, thank you.
Let me make sure. Yes, you should have edit access.
I do.
Cool.
I have view only, but I'll request it now.
Perfect.
Let me find you, Chase, and 1 moment. I didn't want anyone tampering with their character sheets before we started.
I did
Sneaky.
not. Or I would never do that.
All right, go ahead and refresh, Chase, and you should be good.
Gotcha.
Sounds extremely suspect.
So I got politics, and what is the value?
5. It should be 5. Sorry.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No problem.
Great. Does anyone have any character or mechanics questions?
For those of you who missed earlier, there's some blank spots on your character sheet for you to fill in your personality traits. I didn't want to pigeonhole anybody into playing a character that they didn't particularly want to play. So all of your stats and everything are set, but your personality traits are totally up to you. All of the skills and abilities that are listed are suggestions of things that you could do or ideas to inspire you. You can kind of do whatever you want, but actions have consequences.
Okay, quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I have a dagger and a short sword.
Mm-hmm.
Is that just a dexterity check, or sorry, it's been a while since I played actual D&D. I've been playing a lot of like storyteller systems, which is like,
Yeah. This is we're doing a sort of D&D White Wolf hybrid weird monstrosity. So
sweet.
So yeah, for people who are strength-based characters, attacks will be strength-based checks. For like our thief, that'll be more of a dex situation.
Gotcha.
What the check is will kind of depend on what you're doing.
Okay.
Andrew, I feel morally obligated at some point. I've just told multiple people I would do this. I'm locked in to shame you for being in California when I am here in the No Theater, despite living in California.
Yeah.
Just mild
Okay.
shaming, and that I said I
Yep.
would probably immediately walk back because of who I am as a person. So
I
there's the
accept
walking back portion of this night's shaming.
that. Great. So now that I've been shamed, let's talk.
I
We'll
love
see
you.
if we
Please don't
can
kill me.
We'll see if we can add just a little bit of context before we get into the story proper, so that we don't have to rehash if our 2 other players show up within the next couple minutes. So first of all, is you are a team who have been called together. These characters, you're sort of like the A team. You may have, or the Expendables. Oh, don't read too much into that. that you are a group of adventurers who some of you may have worked together before, but you are the kind of adventurers who, when there's something difficult that needs to be done, you will answer the call for fame, glory, and profit. And also sometimes because you get to explore very interesting occult things. So there's all of that. And you are on a particular mission. So know that in your world, there's a town, a festival town, that's been renowned for holding festivals annually for thousands of years. The town of Fringenton. Their entire economy revolves around this local festival, and they're known throughout the land for a really good time and reasonably priced beverages. This year's festival was canceled because of that is to say, last year's festival was canceled because of a plague of demons. Now, this was not entirely unexpected because there had been a legend that said every 700 years demons arise in this town and take it over. But 700 years is a long time, so people forget. But then they were surprised last year when thousands of noisy, screaming, winged demons rose out of the ground and took over the entire town. Now, fortunately, legend also states that those demons die out after about a year. And word on the street is it's true. The massive sound emanating from the town has decreased over the last couple months. So it seems like the festival is back on, probably, because the demons are likely dead. We think. It's your job to find out. So, you assembled at a nearby town about 2 days' ride, and now you're coming in to make sure that the town is clear. And after you make sure the town is clear, it is your job to light the signal fire that will tell everyone it's safe to return. Let me finish this one thing, and then I will assign Kristen screen share privileges. So you are not traveling alone because, for one, festival goers are super excited, so they're camping outside the gates already. Also, the tech crew is ready to set up spaces, get lighting in place for the festival that will occur, so they're standing by outside of town. And also, you're going to be accompanied by the local #1 extermination department. They have flamethrowers and leather armor. It's their job to dispose of any unsightly remains, whether demon or human, or any species. So they'll be coming through with flamethrowers to clean up, provided it's safe. So those are the basic things to know before we enter the village, or enter the town. And now I am going to, Kristen, you should now be co-host, which hopefully gives you screen sharing.
Awesome, thank you. And anybody who hasn't, please choose a token to represent your character. That will become very important as soon as we end up on maps. And you can just put what you want in the chat, and I will assign it to you.
Do you have mine, or do you want me to retype it?
I don't. I do have yours. Yeah, I'm good.
Cool.
And Chase, if you would please change your name to your character. I think that'll help us all remember these new fantasy names.
Sure thing. How do I do that?
If you click... Oh, go ahead, Kristen.
No, you.
If you click at the top of your picture, there should be 3 dots.
Okay.
And you should be able to go there and select rename.
Gotcha. Let me just make sure I spell it right. Ralph here. Okay.
All right. You should all see my splash landing page.
Works like a charm.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Does anybody need any more time to drop in their characteristics or anything?
Oh, I haven't done that.
Yeah. Let me just.
I don't know what my personality is yet.
Well. Pause.
We'll give you a couple minutes. We are still hoping that a couple of our players are going to join us as well. Andrew, do you want to give a quick recap for the folks at home about the system that we're using, which is kind of a mishmash of several systems?
It is. So, for those of you new to role playing, one of the things that tabletop role playing games does is it assigns numerical values to various attributes and traits that a person might have, that a character has. And then that, in various ways, translates to rolling dice, which represent the element of chance in any real world or game-based situation. So what we're doing is each of our characters has a certain number that's associated with one of their attributes or skills, and that will relate to the number of dice that they roll when trying to achieve a given task. Those dice in this game will almost entirely be 10-sided dice. Decahedrons, if you will. So each time a character attempts something, we'll assign a skill difficulty level to it. The player will roll, that will be from 1 to 10. The player will roll, and any dice that meet or exceed that difficulty level represent a success. Hooray! So the number of successes that a player gets determines the degree of success of the character at that particular task. All right.
Awesome.
Well, I think perhaps we should get started and we can fill in our latecomers because they can always arrive slightly late for reasons. Perhaps a
Agreed.
horse threw a shoe.
We can Deus Ex Machina that.
That's right.
Awesome. So we've already laid out the basic premise. So the group of you have just recently arrived in Fringington. Let me. There you go. Can you all see the whole town?
Loud and clear.
Awesome. So you are approaching through the main gate, which is to the south here. Your goal is to sweep the town, clear out any remaining demons, and then this lighthouse in the center, that is where you will go to light the signal fire. Any questions before we get started? As you enter the gates of the town, it appears deserted. But for piles and piles of chitinous demon corpses, human bone, inhuman bone, all sorts of refuse and carcasses just strewn about everywhere, and that's all you can see. The air is quiet. How would you like to proceed?
Phasor reaches into his pouch and pulls out a couple of small stones, slings them on the ground, examines them, and says, "Oh no, it looks like everything in this town is dead. Let's go light the signal fires."
You notice that each of the demon corpses is vaguely humanoid with yellow wings and giant red eyes on their human heads. They're pretty disturbing. And there's a sense, you can almost feel in the air the vibration of the cacophonous sound which has recently ended, though it all is silent.
All right, so we've got demons.
Yeah.
Oh, no, take a look at my rune stones. It says there's no demons at all.
You see Ralk here just kind of look at the other two and is like, "Look, guys, we have a premium opportunity here. If all the demons are dead, no one but us is in the town."
That's right, we could go to the library and look at all the books.
Or we find the mayor's house and we take everything that isn't nailed down.
And replace it with demons.
Yes.
I don't understand. Why would we do such a thing? There's so much that we could learn by just going and looking about. Oh well, I'll go along with the party.
All right, this is gonna be a long adventure.
Alva, you've been kind of quiet. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's going to be a long adventure.
Oh, I did hear that, didn't I?
Well, perhaps I'll take a look at these demon corpses and see if I can determine what fell god they might have come from.
I'm always up for looking at dead things as well.
High five for looking at dead things.
I mean, we can look at some corpses. That's okay. I mean, I'm just gonna go over to the nearest demon corpse and is it wearing clothes?
No, there are no clothes. There's just a chitinous body that reminds you of insects, but it is somehow seems completely counter to the way the world should work.
Gotcha. I kind of kick it.
That's going to end well.
Okay, what is your strength?
Strength is
It's 3. I see. Yes. Roll. Roll a strength check, so that'll be 3d10.
3d10. There you go. Let me just.
And do you tell
And
him
this
the
is-
difficulty before?
I will.
Yeah.
It is difficulty 4.
So one of those is a success.
Great. Roll your dexterity.
Okay.
Difficulty 6.
All right. So dexterity 7. So 7d10s.
Yep.
Okay. D6. 1, 2, and do 10s explode?
10s do explode, and 1s botch. So,
Well, I
People
got
look
one
up for-
success with a 10.
all right,
just-
roll again.
Yep. And never mind, that's a 1.
So that cancels
Aw,
out your
buddy.
1 success.
Yep.
So you successfully kick the corpse, but now your foot is stuck in a demon corpse, and it's leaking like really disgusting, sort of yellow-green ichor around your foot. It is, your boot is sort of like smoking a little bit. There's a little sizzle sound, and it's also just deeply disquieting.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
rookie
Yes.
mistake. This is why I always bring my own runes.
I was going to say
Uh.
this really feels like divine intervention, just like a direct one-for-one karma deal.
Oh, look, Ralkir, you kicked it and it's now dead. Now we can go to the signal fires.
All right.
Just look at the rest
Um,
of the group, and I'm like, give me 1 second, and I pull out my crowbar, jam it in there, and wedge my foot out.
Meanwhile, Ezeldar, could you roll perception for me? I believe your perception is it 7? It is very high. That I know. Oh no, I don't have yours open. This will be a difficulty 4.
This is more like a difficulty 100. You know,
What? So, yes, you'll want to roll 7 of the 10-sided dice.
Jackie Robinson. No? It's 42.
Let me know how many are over 4 in value rather than the total.
5.
Great. Using your astute senses of perception, you can hear almost no sounds in the village. It is so empty sounding to you, except up ahead and to your right in a building, you think you hear breathing. It sounds like human breathing to you. You're very astute.
This is what I was afraid of. There are people who are alive in there.
But it's only one that you can hear. It's like in that episode of Star Trek where there's the thing that detects heartbeats.
I don't know about that because where there's one, there's more than one.
So you were afraid of people. You were afraid of survivors. You were afraid of people surviving a terrible thing.
That is why he's the destructive.
Personally, I didn't want there to be any survivors. That's all I'm saying.
That's, I mean, at least you're upfront about it.
Well, maybe we can interview them, write a book about the trauma that they've had to go through over the last year.
Wow,
Oh, this is
okay.
exciting.
Maybe we can go
Or-
heal their wounds and save them.
Or
I
we
have
could
one of
do
those
that.
books in my library.
charge them for these
Porque no los
services.
dos.
Because I'm probably going to need a new boot.
I hate this already.
Maybe the dying human or whoever it is has a boot that you could just, transfer onto your foot.
No, no.
I wasn't going to kill a man for his boots, dear Lord.
All right.
This isn't a time for prayer. This is a time for fashion.
The breathing.
Ralkir, could you real quick roll a dex check on your crowbar maneuver?
Yep.
And the breathing accelerates.
I'm gonna go check that out. If nobody else.
I'll come with you.
Sounds like a size 11.
Yeah, I'm going to get out a splash radius before he's crowbarring the corpse.
What was my difficulty?
It was difficulty of 7.
Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, and reroll the 10. Four.
All right. You managed to extricate your boot, flinging Iker sort of in a wide radius. But your boot's out. You don't think after this adventure you will ever want to put this boot on your foot again.
Can I still wear it for this adventure?
For now.
Cool.
Well, I think I read about this. It's called Chekhov's boot.
Yeah.
Who's Chekhov? Some wizard?
I'm not
Great
sure.
researcher?
Yeah.
Some.
Yeah. I read
Please
about it in a
remind-
book at Wizard School.
Please
I
remind
always
me
heard he
who
was
was
a con
approaching
artist.
the building to investigate.
Your boy Al.
Nice.
Phasor
Or
will
your
go.
girl Al.
Al and Phasor, as you approach, you hear skittering noises of tiny feet on the floor. Do you open the door?
What do you think, Alva? Did that
I
sound
am
like a
going-
corgi?
No, it did not sound like a corgi.
Hmm.
All right, we might want backup here. I'm gonna try to go in stealthily, which is gonna be really good because my stealth is really low.
Awesome. Roll stealth. This is going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
a pretty tough check because you're going in the front door. It's going to be a 6.
I can't do it. I can't do it unless I explode all over. I'm
And
gonna
So-
start DnD with that.
So you do in fact open the door, attempting to be stealthy. And your attempt to be stealthy completely fails, and you fling the door open. It opens so much more easily than you expected. And it flings open, hitting the wall next to the door, making a tremendous noise. And it sends up a huge cloud of dust. Phasor, how close to this building are you standing?
Phasor would have been standing right next to it.
Right next to the door?
Yeah, absolutely. In like dust zone.
All right. Phasor, roll a first, Trip, if you could roll strength. This is going to be difficulty 6.
All right, I'm pretty strong. I'm decently strong. Let's do this. Sorry.
And Phasor, if you could roll dexterity. This is going to be difficulty 7.
I got 3 successes.
Yeah, and Phasor is apparently a flip wizard, also 3 successes.
Wow. Well, Trip, what your opening the door has done is actually destabilize the entire second floor of this building.
Oh no.
And the whole facade starts to collapse directly where Phasor is standing, but Phasor manages to dodge it, and a giant pile of rubble lands right next to him. Unfortunately, by dodging it, Phasor has landed in a pile of demon carcasses. Phasor, yes, roll your stamina, please. Stamina check. Difficulty 5.
2 successes, but I got a 1, so I guess that's 1 success.
1 success. Well, you have landed in a pile of demon corpses, puncturing a bunch of their chest cavities, which is releasing a lot of the ichor that is on Ralkir's boot, slowly dissolving it. This is bad, because that means that this ichor is now slowly dissolving you.
Oh, no, not again.
Your stamina
again.
check. Your stamina check means that you can get out at least 3 sentences of text before you lose consciousness.
Okay.
So,
I knew it. I saw the dim stars rising in the east before we left. It was an orc. I should have paid more attention.
How do we use spells and abilities here? Because I have create water as one. Can I just like give him a nice little shower?
give that a shot.
All right, I would like to do that.
All right, you are going to roll a D100,
Ooh.
and some wild magic effects are going to accompany the created water.
Oh, I love wild magic. I love that wild magic chart. All right, that's a 48.
48. 48. All of a sudden, Alvar appears to kind of like vibrate in place until her image just blurs. And you can still tell that she's there, but also if you were trying to slap her, it would be really hard because she appears to be moving very quickly in a very small space.
All right, I love that.
But
So
you are not actually moving, to be clear. You feel
Yeah,
normal.
I'm under the effects of a blur spell.
So you successfully create a bunch of water, which does end up on Phasor the Wise. Unfortunately, as it turns out, water is a catalyst for this ichor. And it,
God.
You should have
And it
created something more alkaline. Oh no.
I'm
and,
not a scientist, I'm a doctor.
and you see Phazor's flesh dissolve off his bones, and his skeletal hand reaching up towards the dim stars that foretold this catastrophe.
Okay, that's traumatizing.
Alas, Phasor is now deceased.
Sorry,
Good night.
Phasor.
Good gaming, all.
Well,
Thanks so much for playing, Josh.
Glad to be
Welcome
here.
such a
Thank you so
fast.
much.
Dear Lord,
Um,
we killed him that quick.
I can't. We could have him back. I can create undead.
You are welcome to do that. You, as a magic user, would understand.
Well,
that
I
if
think
you create him as an undead, he would no longer be Phasor as
Yep.
he previously was.
Yep.
You would have control of him as the necromancer that brought him back to life.
And he must be named Fey Zombie.
However,
Phasor has spoken.
Well, just like this way we leave with the same number of people walking as we entered with, hopefully.
however, I also have revive.
Okay, that's probably a better choice.
So revive. I'm not. There's now a skeleton with a puddle of flesh.
Yeah, there's not really enough corpse.
You
to
really need a true
stuff
res for
soul
that.
back into. Yeah. Out of game knowledge for the players, Josh has to leave.
Oh,
So it's okay
Cool.
that he's dead.
cool.
Don't worry.
Gotcha.
No, but I'm sticking around because just hearing all of your agony over poor Phasor dissolving in front of you is pretty odd, y'all.
I have
This is a very traumatizing way to start the game.
I
So,
have
So-
quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Did his clothes survive? And if so, how stupid would I be to pick his pocket?
Oh, Tamora's
What is
kids, Ralph, here, I knew I
your
didn't
what is
like
your
you.
character? What is Ralkir's intelligence?
It is a solid 4.
All right. Okay. Roll roll. Difficulty 3. Because let's be honest, this is a terrible idea.
So let's see. That's 3 successes so far, and let me re-roll the 10.
You
That's
recognize
4 successes.
You recognize that it would be an incredibly bad idea to take these clothes because you do not also want to end up a puddle of flesh.
That's fair. I'm gonna take my boot off.
This is probably wise. You are now known as One Boot Ralkir.
I'm
Um,
taking
like-
both boots off at this point. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna walk. No.
Alvar,
Hobbit
can I get
style.
a perception check from you, please?
You sure can.
Difficulty 4.
Okay. Thank you. That is going to be 3 successes.
You hear crying coming from inside the house.
All right,
Small
so we're just
crying.
gonna like compartmentalize that, and we're gonna unpack that later. Just gonna let that one go for now.
If the
and-
bones didn't dissolve, maybe help be useful to raise him, just as a zombie or a skeleton, because to move the other corpses, because if the bones aren't dissolving, they're not going to be affected by the acid.
If you would like to
Impro-
do that, you may start casting that spell while Alvar investigates this noise.
Sure,
I'm going right on it.
I will go ahead and do that.
Awesome. Please roll a D100.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's D100. Okay. Ooh, that's down the list. Or, sorry. We say so 100. You mean actual D100? Like 1 second.
If you're using
You can roll
the-
2d10.
Yeah,
Okay.
2d10's fine. Yeah.
Just designate 1 your 10's die and 1 your 1's die.
Okay. 52.
52. You feel unlucky.
Hmm.
This may have an effect in the near future.
Okay.
All right. So Alvar, what are you doing?
charging right on in there. I've just adjusted my foolhardy flaw to foolhardy when someone's in danger. So I'm gonna try to save this small crying thing.
Nice. As you enter, cowering in the still intact corner of a far corner of the building is a small girl.
Oh,
Her skin
Hey.
looks very pale, as though she hasn't seen much sun in a while. Her hair is dark and matted and stringy and hanging down around her face. And she is curled up with her head in her knees, trying not to let the sound of her sobs escape her corner.
all right, sweetie. You don't have to
Can I-
hide from me.
Sorry.
No, go for it, Rocker.
Can I ready an action to throw my knife at the child?
Can you see the child?
That is also a good question. Can I see the child?
I'm. Where are you
Chase, I
standing?
forgot the level of chaos you bring to these proceedings, and I love it.
Look, we're in a town full of dead demon corpses, and there's a creepy, pale child just sitting there.
You may ready an attack to throw a dagger at a child if you so choose, if you like, because the crying is not difficult to hear.
Mhm.
You may take Alvar entering the building as your cue, and you may stand in the doorway ready to
Yep.
attack. All right. The little girl. Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
I was just gonna say. Meanwhile, after you've come into the town, in the time it's taken to start doing these things and for Phasor to die, the local #1 fire crew has come in and has started burning corpses along the entryway. So it's a little loud, but not terribly distracting. It's just like a, and also the smell of not really burning flesh because most of the flesh is gone, but burning bone and burning insects. So
Hmm.
maybe it smells like a snack. I don't know. I think that's your own your each character can interpret this as you see fit, but they're slowly working their way up the street.
Wait, guys, isn't acid like really explosive?
I'm a doctor, not a scientist.
There does not seem to be a problem with the flames and with the flame Icor combination currently.
Gotcha.
That's not to say there won't be in the future, but for right now, they've burned a bunch of bodies and there have been no explosive effects.
Okay. It's just going to
Back
be
to
like,
Alvar.
because the fire crew might be about to die horribly.
Everyone's dying.
Back to Alvar. Once you speak, the little girl scrabbles backwards, even though her back is already against the wall, and she reaches underneath her for a stick that you see has broken, and she brandishes at you, and she says, "Go away, demon!"
Oh, that's not one of those. We came in to clear those out. How long you been here, honey? What's your name?
You have to be a demon. The only thing here is demons.
Yeah, I think that's what my friend thinks about you. And by friend, I mean like very casual acquaintance. I don't claim him yet.
You don't
I'm
think
just
it's
standing at the
possible, but
door
her
with the
face
knife.
gets even paler.
All right. Here, how about we play a game? What's something a demon couldn't do? So I can prove I'm not a demon.
A demon. A demon wouldn't give me a present.
I've got
Let's
a present for you right here.
Ralph here.
Relax, I'm not going to hit the child. And can I like underhand lob the knife so it like lands on the floor by the kid?
Oh, you're giving the child a knife. Oh, nice.
Absolutely. Please make a dexterity check. Because you were trying to not hit the child, it's a much larger target and it'll be an easier check. It's going to be a 5.
Okay. So let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Please
5,
don't accidentally stab this little girl.
6. Let me re-roll these 3 10s.
Dang.
Nice. I think you have fully succeeded. You throw the knife in such a way with all of those successes that it skitters across the floor, spinning, and comes to a stop perfectly right by her foot with the handle facing her and the blade facing away. Good job, sir.
Hooray!
I give you
I just-
the like nod of respect.
I just look at the formula and I'm like, to be honest, I had no idea that would work.
The little girl shrieks because she doesn't understand your intentions and curls into a tinier ball. But when nothing happens, she looks and she sees the dagger. And she says, "I've been looking for one of these." And she picks it up and she hastily stows it in her robes.
That's a good child. Now come with me and I'll introduce you to an entire world of just breaking and entering and occasionally taking really shady jobs from people in bars.
I don't know about all that. I don't know what most of those words mean.
Yeah, we're
This
gonna
girl's
keep it
like
that way.
8.
That's fine. I will take her as my apprentice.
You've got to ease her into a life of crime, okay? Start small. Coin
Awesome. So
tricks.
adopting the little girl and turning her into a murder hobo. All right. Let's do
Right.
it.
This is very Dickensian.
I'll be here for her
Oh
spiritual
God, I'm the
guidance.
Fagin.
The little girl seems surprisingly won over by your offering of the dagger. You get the sense that she hasn't really had the ability to defend herself, and she has been relying on hiding. And she feels a little bolder now that she has a weapon in her hands. So good job arming the child, guys. What
Good
could
work.
go wrong?
I would die for
Ezildor,
this kid.
Ezildor, do another perception check for me.
Right.
That is rolling 7d10. The difficulty will only be 5.
Six.
That is 6 successes? Well, a wind has come up through the town and blows through, and you, with your very sophisticated and well-trained hearing, perceive that it is just blowing through all of these empty houses. This was the only sign of life that you really heard in this town.
Well, everyone, we've accomplished our goal. We found the only living person in town. I think it's time to continue our journey to light this candle and get out of here.
All right.
Oh,
The little girl chimes up. Don't leave me.
No, of course not. You're coming with us. You actually.
Yeah.
What's
Do
your
you
name,
have-
girl?
Do you have food?
Mm-hmm. Do I?
I'm sorry?
I'm hungry.
Do we have food on us?
I've
Yeah.
got
Oh yeah,
food.
everybody has rations.
I have some rations.
All right, if you give the little girl rations, she will grab it from you and just start chowing down, and she will happily munch on the rations as you continue along your journey.
You want a backpack? I guess she's a little big to backpack.
Maybe. She'll try, if you offer, she'll climb up on you though.
All right, let's do this.
I'll just look at the child.
She
and be-
she seems to be about 11, I think.
Oh, I
Would
thought
be
she was
your-
younger. My bad.
Oh, is she younger? I'm sorry. How old did you say she is?
I was
I
thinking
heard 8.
Okay,
because
great.
she's so little.
11 going on
Yeah.
8.
You're right. You're right.
Going on 8.
Listen to the other game master. She's 8.
Can I?
Sounds
look
like
at
you were
the
saying
little-
Kristen's 8.
Can I look at the little girl and just ask, hey, so does this town have like a bank? Or does the mayor have a nice house? And which way would that be?
Can we light the torch and then loot the town? Like,
Fine.
she just looks around and she's like, I mean, the tavern's really nice. That's where I've been getting all my food. But they're out of food now. I don't know if they have anything good left. I've never been to the mayor's house.
Do you know where it is?
And she points in a direction that you feel is probably random.
All right, kid. First thing we're gonna learn is what direction north is, and then we're gonna. All right, let's find the center of town and light the bonfire.
As you walk toward the center of town, you see the 8 members of the local 1 fire brigade spreading out behind you, burning corpses. They are surprisingly efficient at this. It's only surprising because you have no other context for how efficiently corpses could be disposed of in this quantity. As you walk toward the center
we
of
don't
town,
have any experience with that.
Not at
like,
all.
I don't think Kristen and I can stress how many corpses are piled in this town, both demon and human remain. It is nightmare inducing.
Valkyr just
so-
kind of looks. Sorry. Valkyr
ahead.
just kind of looks around and is like, "So why do they keep having a festival here when they know demons are going to come out of the ground every 700 years and kill everyone?"
700 years is a long time, dude.
They have
Bone ash is good for the soil.
There were
Okay.
certainly people who you would know as an adventurer coming into the situation that there were definitely people who left this town. They were convinced that this was the year and they got out of town. Everybody else was just kind of, they'd either forgotten the legend or they said, oh, that's just something you say to scare your kids into, doing the things you want them to do or whatever, And
Gotcha.
so they kind of didn't really believe that it was true. And some of them were just like, this is my home. If demons come, I'll defend it. It's fine. Kind of a
and there
lot
were-
of different attitudes.
Okay.
There were some public health officials who did announce that the demons were likely to be returning in the next couple years, but they were widely ignored by most of the population.
They might have
Right,
even
was
had
it
like
Fauci?
some kind of playbook to go by
Yeah.
and just
Yeah. There had been at one point. So there is evidence in the records that 700 years ago there was a strategy of just abandoning the town for a year every 700 years. But this particular town thought that was the residents here thought that was superstition. look how far we've come in 700 years. Back in those dark ages, people didn't know what they were talking about.
Surely it wasn't literal demons.
Right.
Surely it was just some kind of insect plague.
Yes, indeed.
That is the hubris of man.
Yeah, indeed, Ralkir. Very well put. So as you approach the center of town, you see, for one, rising up in the center of town is the tower that will be the signal fire. It's essentially a lighthouse that dominates the center of town, where there might in another town be a fountain or, like, say, Trajan's column, something like that. This is a massive lighthouse. As you come into the center square, you see to your left and right there are these sort of grassy park plazas, which are areas where in shortly there will be festival performances, for now filled with demon corpses. So directly ahead of you is the tower. The path sort of continues. Leading up to the tower, the path is planked, like a planked road, and the plank continues across a little moat that is around the tower, and then leads to a portcullis which is closed.
All right.
Okay.
Can I try
The
to
tow-
scale
Yeah.
the wall to open the portcullis?
So that, yes, here you can see an image of essentially what the path looks like, but imagine the planked road extending a little bit further to the left. The tower is stone and about 3 stories tall.
Okay.
And you can see that the portcullis is sort of a self-contained thing with no obvious way to get in. There are some windows fairly high up on the tower. There are also at the edges of the wooden path that crosses the moat, there is a series of stones on either side that form a little bit like a path, a ceremonial gate sort of thing. The stones are about waist high. They're covered in lichen.
Lots of specific details.
Can I
Makes me
try
think they're
climbing?
relevant.
So I have a hand crossbow, and I have rope.
All right, Batman, let's do this.
Wait a
Can
second.
I pull the Batman and tie like a rope to a crossbow bolt, fire it into one of the windows, and then use it to climb up?
I mean, you can try.
I take it this is a bad idea, but you know
I
what?
mean-
I'm going forward anyway.
It
It's
could
go-
work
it's-
though.
It is a complicated series of actions. So for the initial, before we're gonna have you roll for the combined timing, shooting, grabbing, and then we'll have you roll separately for climbing because
Okay.
there'll be different things. So right now for the whole tie, shoot, grapple combination, that's going to be dexterity,
Okay.
and it's going to be difficulty 8.
Is
The
there a way that I
That's
can
really high.
is there a way that I can aid Rauk here by with my sailor background, like checking his knots?
You can check his knots, yes.
Okay. So
All right, if you're gonna do this, I only have limited spell slots. Please don't die.
I make no promises.
Ah.
So
At least it'll be easy to get rid of the body.
difficulty 8, I got 1 success, but it's a 10, so let me re-roll that.
Should I do something to aid?
I
Is
have
there
1
something that I should be
success.
doing? Oh, buddy.
All right, 1 success. Well, the you do all the things. You fire your grapple. It seems to have grabbed the window.
Okay. I will put on my climbing gloves and proceed to just start climbing it as carefully as I possibly can, looking for hand and footholds as I do it.
I'll sigh and get my healers kit ready.
So, first, This is for climbing the first level. First, roll dexterity, difficulty 6. What you got?
3 successes.
3 successes. Great. You scale the first story, and you're about halfway to the window, which is a sort of high clerestory window looking into the second story. Roll stamina.
Okay.
Difficulty 4, and then roll strength. Difficulty 5.
One, 2, 3, 4 with 2 rerolls on stamina.
Great. You're feeling good. Like, you got this.
So one of them is a 10, one of them is a 1, so 4.
Okay.
And then strength, you said?
Strength. Yep.
Okay, 3. 2,
Yep.
3. And what's my difficulty?
4.
1 success.
All right. You're nearly there. You're nearly there, but and you don't feel tired, but it's just the sort of like, you're not tired, but you're just not sure you've got enough gas in the tank to really get up there. You're almost to the sill. Roll dexterity, please.
Yeah.
Difficulty 7.
Gotcha. Two. That is going to be 1 because I botched on 1 die, but I still had 1 success.
You had 1 success.
Yep.
Hooray, you do not fall to your death. But
Sweet.
just as you're getting to the sill, the grapple pulls off the sill and you lose your rope. It falls to the ground, but you've managed to grab on to the side of the tower.
Okay. I am a god. Fear me.
The problem is, you don't know if you've got the stamina, but you don't know if you have the strength to pull yourself up to that sill. So you need to consider your thoughts for a second. What's everybody else doing?
Okay.
You have seen Relker climbing the tower. The grappling hook is down, and now he's clinging tenaciously to the side.
Just waiting to watch him fall to his death.
Oh, did he drop the crossbow as well? Or does he still have the crossbow? I imagine he still has it, so that's...
Relker, did you carry the crossbow up with you?
After I shot it, I probably handed it to someone and was like, here, hold on to this. And then, like Rambo, put my short sword between my teeth and started climbing the wall.
The least subtle rogue I know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Reiki
He is not always what gets the job done.
Yeah.
A good rogue knows.
Hey, listen, I've got 2 stealth. Ricky is the wild.
Because I do have that inexplicable skill in archery. Could try to shoot that back up there, but the risk I'd hit him would be pretty high.
Please don't shoot me in the back with my own crossbow.
That would be worth it. Like the cure wounds, I would expend that. It would be worthwhile.
All right. Anybody else doing anything? You're all just watching Rauk here struggle to pull himself over this
I mean,
parapet.
I guess we should help in some.
Does anyone have access to the mage hand cantrip, perhaps?
That only lifts 5 pounds. But
It's still
this is a
5
very
more-
loose system. So if anybody wanted to attempt to help him with telekinesis, it would simply
Relker,
require a chaos roll.
And Relker, roll strength difficulty 8.
To keep a hold.
I mean, I could try summoning an elemental, but I don't know how much control I'd have over it.
Not a lot, you would think. Knowing elementals as you do.
Yep.
I can do a gust of wind. That
Mm,
So if it's
would
difficulty
probably
8,
just knock
I
him off.
got 1 success.
Nice. You manage to pull your chin over the sill, so you're sort of doing a pull-up move. It is remarkable, as though you've dug so deep into your reserves. Ha! And now you're staring directly into the window.
What do I see?
Andrew, what do we see? Do we have time? Awesome.
Let's do it.
You
crap.
see, I am going to move you over to the tower and show you what you see.
You're doomed, my man.
One
Screwed.
moment, you're going to see darkness for just a moment, and I'm going to drop you in. Where'd you go, Raukir? There you are. I'm just going to put you right here just so you can see. Loading. I don't think
While it's loading, so Eseldor, you're a wizard. And Rakius, what is Rakius's class?
I'm a wizard specializing in history.
Oh yes, you're yeah. Because you were gonna raise the dead.
Yep.
You see a
Tempest Bear.
room full of demons and a displacer beast.
Are they all alive?
They are so alive, but they're just kind of chilling. They're kind of like reclining on the floor, or like rubbing their belly. They had a pretty good meal recently. They're not expecting any visitors. Just kind of nothing going on. You can also see that you can probably, with your roguey instincts, get into the area to raise the portcullis without them seeing you. But you suspect that the act of raising the portcullis will probably alert them to your presence.
Okay. Just because I have not played actual Dungeons and Dragons in a while, I am assuming the Displacer Beast is more than one man can take on, and then there's 4 other demons.
Oh, yeah. You think that maybe you could take on one of the things in here by yourself, but you're going to need some friends for the whole group.
Okay. Other question. There is a moat surrounding this place, right?
Yes, although the drawbridge is down, and that's how you got over to the wall. So the drawbridge is not an issue.
Could I swing myself sideways and aim for the water?
Like outside of the tower?
Yeah, like
You want to jump off the tower into the water? Just
Like-
being clear.
not right now, but after I throw the switch, could I then proceed to say, "See you later, jerkus," and then throw myself into the water to avoid being brutally murdered?
Yes, but let me be clearer, because these maps are not specific. They're great maps. I bought them from some awesome artists, but they are not custom maps for the specific adventure. So let me be clear that the lever for or the levers for the portcullis, there are 2 levers in a little antechamber right in here. And that's where you're looking in, and you can see through that antechamber into this main room. But you are thinking that you would have to go in the window, sneak down to the levers, and if you hug the walls, they won't see you. But if you stand in the doorway, they're going to see you. And then you can throw the lever, which will raise the portcullis, removing the barrier between you and your friends. You could then climb back up the wall, out the window, and jump, but that would be another series of checks.
Gotcha.
So I leave it up to you. It's certainly a valid escape route. And
Assuming
only
I
2 of these things have wings, so most of them would not fly up the wall after you.
Man, I really wish I would not have left my canned crossbow downstairs, because then I would have tried to shoot one of them in the wing. But we're past this, and I gave my throwing knife to the child.
Oh,
Damn me for being a good person.
That's what you
Actions
get.
have consequences.
Yeah,
All right, so how would you like to proceed?
I will try to sneak to the lever and throw it.
All right, give me a stealth. It's not going to be super difficult because they're pretty snoozy and you've got the advantage of some cover. So it's going to be a 6 success.
Okay. And just to clarify, do I add dexterity and stealth together, or do I just roll stealth?
You'll just roll stealth. As I recall, you have a pretty good stealth roll. So you'll just roll all the dice for stealth and that's it.
Okay. And you said difficulty 6?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's 4 successes. Actually, it's 3
Amazing.
successes because one of them is a 1.
Cool. With 3 successes, you still very easily manage to drop yourself into a corner where they won't see you, and you are faced with 2 levers.
Okay.
One to your right and one to your left.
And I throw them both in a single turn.
All right. You throw both of the levers. You hear a groaning as the portcullis creaks open, and you hear another groaning as chains start grinding and the drawbridge starts raising.
Shit, I pull that leather back. I pull it back.
Which one?
Damn it. The one on the left?
The one on the left. I didn't pick, so we're gonna roll any die, odd in your favor, if you picked the right lever, because I forgot to plan which lever was which. So even or odd is in your favor. Any die will work.
Okay.
Let me know what you get.
Yep, let me just go ahead and I got a 2.
Awesome. The portcullis slams back down. Hold on a second. We're going to go back to the others for a moment. When this drawbridge starts raising, you all see swarms of spiders crawling out from under the bridge from where they were hiding. And they don't attack you or anything, but they do crawl all over your feet and legs as they scuttle away from their home that is now moved. If anybody feels weird about insects, please roll. What kind of check do I want? A wits check.
I mean, I was a sailor, so I feel like I'm kind of used to. I'm fine with creepy crawlies, but
Ezeldor, how do you feel about spiders? Is Ezeldor frozen? Did we lose him?
No.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, I have no opinion one way or the other. They're just spiders. They're harmless.
All right, you all are fine.
What size spiders are we talking about?
I mean, not so big that you feel like you need to immediately pull out your weapons and start killing them. But yeah, like Andrew said, like big enough that they're super freaky, scuttling over your legs.
Valkyr, you took both of your boots off, right?
Yeah.
He's inside though.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm about to get pwned.
Listen, if it's more interesting, I'll make a wits check. Al has gotten Vane and doesn't want spiders near her. What's my difficulty on that?
Your difficulty, because of your sailor background, I'm gonna say it's just a 4. And the little girl on your back also has a roll.
Oh, okay. That's 2 successes for me.
I'm rolling real dice.
I'll try to keep holding her up above the spiders.
And the little girl gets 1 success. So she lets out a shriek because she doesn't love it, but she also does not cause you any problems by freaking out on your back.
Okay. As long as they don't get like under the armor, we're okay. We're okay.
All right, back to Valkyr. You have just thrown the wrong lever. The beasts hear
Wrong
something.
lever.
You hear one of them yell something in a language you don't understand, but it sounds angry. What do you do?
Me?
Mhm.
Can I throw the drawbridge switch down, the portcullis switch up, and then try to sneak out of here?
Absolutely. It's going to be a much harder sneak because they are now aware of a presence. So it's going to be a 7 to succeed on sneaking, but you do successfully raise the portcullis and you do successfully lower the drawbridge.
Okay.
And moving you back to the drawbridge map.
I got 1 success.
Nice. You do manage to get out without them immediately chasing you, but that does not stop them from coming to investigate. The rest of you, you see Ralkir sneaking out, and as the portcullis is raising and he's sneaking under the portcullis, you see clouds of bats come swarming out from the ceiling where they were nesting right by the portcullis, and the loud sound disturbed them. And these bats fly out. Oops, I grabbed him. I grabbed Ralkir too. Whoops. These bats fly out and they swarm around your heads, agitated. Everybody make a wits check.
Can I try to?
Except Ralkir, you're fine. You're making a stealth check.
Okay.
Can I try to help protect the little girl from them?
Absolutely, you can. How do you do that?
I think if she's on my back, I'm gonna try to like transfer her forward into my arms and just like tuck myself over her.
Cool. Please make a wits check followed by a dex check.
Dope. What was our difficulty on the wits check?
Oh, wits check it's just a 4. They're just regular bats.
Okay. It's 4 successes there.
Nice.
Okay, for me, wits check, let's see, wits are 4, rolling, that's 2 successes.
Excellent.
Ooh. And what is my difficulty on the dex check?
The dex check, let me double check your the dex check. It's gonna be a 7 just because of how quickly you have to do it for it to be effective.
Okay, I got 2 successes in that case.
Awesome.
I'm highly motivated by trying to protect this kid.
You do manage to get her spinned around, and you notice that she's not really fazed by these bats. Maybe a year of living in a demon-infested town by herself has strengthened her resolve a little bit. But she does appreciate not getting bats in her hair. So it definitely did help. All right, so you are all back together, and the demons come to investigate. And I am going to, I had planned for this encounter to happen inside, so the tokens aren't on this layer. So I think I need just a moment to copy them over.
Sorry.
I mean,
It's
our
good.
goal, yeah, if our goal is to clear them out anyway, we might rush in to meet them if it's easier on you.
That would be easier on me. Do you mind?
I don't.
Can I
I'm foolhardy
grab
when
my
people are in
crossbow
danger.
and knife first?
Yes, you may absolutely go grab your crossbow. The little girl does not want to give up the knife, though.
I just look at the little girl and I'm like, look, kid, do you know how to stab people?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you stick the pointy end in the soft bits.
You know, that's a disturbingly accurate description, but you're my new apprentice. Congratulations, child.
All right, I have a dagger. I'm going to give her my. Will you take mine instead so Ralkir can have his?
Sure.
I'm not going to use it.
She
But
will
it has the
happily,
symbol of the storm on it.
She will happily exchange daggers, and the fact that it has a nice little symbol on it makes her more excited.
So just consider going like Gods of the Sea and Storm route, maybe instead of crime. Just think about it.
Don't do it, kid. The god of crime is also the god of alcohol, which in about 2 decades you're really gonna like.
Sailors
Well-
get crunk.
Your argument about the future soul of this little girl is interrupted as you are forced to go after the demons who are aware of your
Yeah.
presence. So I'm just gonna get everybody onto the map. Who would be charging first into this battle? Who would be hanging back? Where should I put y'all?
I would probably hang back just to try and get a couple shots off with the crossbow.
All
I
right.
mean, it is
Inclined
a
to be
hand.
So who's charging first?
Up to you guys.
Because I can cast magic armor, but I don't. Might be more useful on some if I try to cast it on someone besides myself, because I'm probably gonna be hanging back.
I've got great armor. I don't think magic armor would boost that.
So you're probably running in first.
Yeah, I've got really pretty mithril armor.
All right. So how does this look for a marching order? We've
Good,
got
good.
Alvar in the front. We've got Rakias and Ralkir in the back, and we've got Elzador in the middle.
Yep.
All right. I would please like everyone to roll an awareness check. This is what we're going to use for initiative to determine what order we go in.
Cool.
Okay. I got a 10 and a 6.
All right. Who was that who got a 10 and a 6?
Ralkir.
Ralkir.
Okay, let's see. My awareness is 4, so rolling 4d10, 8, 2, 9, 7.
Wow, this is feast and famine here.
So what's your total? 8 to 10, 19, 26,
26.
Jeff?
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, so in this one, we are going to be adding up the total?
Yes.
Okay. Because I got 2 1s, but also a 10.
2 1s, but also a 10. So 22.
Yeah. I mean, and then I also got an 8 and a 5. So
22. Oh, plus 8 plus 5. So 35.
25.
25,
Because it's
okay.
110.
Oh, okay.
Does it explode here or not?
No.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. So Alvar. So I'm just missing Elzador.
Oh, wait, I can't count. A 10. So that's 25 total.
Got it.
I don't know what I just said, but I can't count.
And Eslador.
Yeah, that's okay. 36, is that sound right?
36.
You have a really high awareness, so yeah, that does sound awesome.
And I'm going to roll for the bad guys. Where'd my dice go? There they are.
Isildur sees and hears all.
It's true. All right. Bad guys. 5. Oops. Plus. That's. Ooh, they got a 10. You guys got the jump on these bad guys. Okay. So, Isildur, you are going first. What would you like to do?
Well, let's see.
And for simplicity's sake, you can move, you can do something, and you can say something.
Well, if you see something, you should say something. So let's considering I also have a proficiency in combat magic, maybe I'll throw out my cloud of daggers in all their direction of the
Good choice. Please roll a D100 or 2 D10s. Designate one as the 10s, one as the 1s.
What am I looking at here?
tried to zoom in on the map before I realized that you're sharing the screen and I cannot.
Oh, here, let me help.
Doing great. Doing great. I can't count and I can't remember the laws of technology.
This is a lot of 10s. I just need 2 10s. Sorry, for a D100. So one of them's the 10s place and one of them's the 1 place.
Okay.
Did it roll? You're muted. I can't hear you.
I'm muted. It rolls.
You got your 2 10s?
Hold on. Hold on a second.
Is it loading?
No, I have some numbers here.
Just, if you've rolled multiple dice, just let us know what the first 2 numbers are, and the first one will be the 10s, and the second will be the 1s.
Yeah.
Right.
So if the first die is a 1 and the second die is a 9, you've got a 19.
Yes.
Is that what you've got?
I am a 1 and a 7.
1 and a 7. Awesome.
17.
17. You suddenly feel this itching, tickling sensation as feathers sprout out from your face, replacing whatever facial hair you previously had. You now have a magnificent beard about 6 inches long, made of feathers.
Perfect.
I love the feather beard.
Right?
That's why
All right, but your cloud of daggers does go off, and you see daggers whirl around the room and cut into the enemies, and they're slow and sluggish from feasting, and they all hit, and they start bleeding profusely, and this weak little one on the side expires.
Nice.
We got one.
Would you like
Very
to,
destructive.
Would you like to move or say anything else before we move to the next person?
I just want to thank everyone for watching that and enjoying my feather beard.
Perfect.
It was
Next
very
up,
impressive.
why did I name you Jeff? Why didn't I name you Rakius? Rakius, it's your turn.
Let's see. So of the people who are in front of me, do any of them appear to not have good armor or be poorly armored?
None of them are wearing armor, although you notice that this one.
Well, no, I mean my allies, not the.
Oh, your allies. Oh, I see. Let's see. Ralph here is wearing oiled leather armor, so that he's nice and quiet. Alvar is wearing full chainmail, and your fellow mages are not very well armored. Although Ezeldor does have like a padded gambeson kind of situation going on.
Okay, so it sounds like I'm the least armored person here, so
That is correct.
So I'm going to cast the magic armor on myself.
Awesome. Please roll your D100.
I love this.
Wild magic is so great.
Yeah. I played a wild magic sorcerer for like a 1-shot and it was a good time.
78.
78. A strong wind swirls around you in a 10-foot radius. You all feel that making ranged attacks into this wind is probably going to not go super well.
Nice.
Can I then change what I was going to do?
Yes, you will be able to change what you're gonna do. Anything else, Rakius?
I think I'll move forward one spot.
All right. Next up, Alvar.
Okay, so what's the ceiling situation here? Do we have a ceiling? Am I gonna?
Yes, so
I guess
this
we have to.
central column is a spiral staircase, and so there's a hole in the ceiling where the spiral staircase goes up. The rest of the ceiling is it's pretty tall ceilings. It's about 15 feet.
I wish that I hadn't offered to move us inside because call lightning is very impractical here, and I would love to do it. And if we'd been outside, I could have.
You know what we can do though, because this whole game is made up, is you can do like force lightning from your fingers.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm kind of loving that. All right.
The world is your oyster, Al the
All
Annoyed.
right. I could also just thunder wave him. Or
Up to
just
you.
smack him in the face with a hammer. Yeah, no, I think lightning's really cool. So I'm gonna kind of step to the side to like block this displacer beast off for my friends a little better. And I'm guessing the displacer demon kind of like looks like the baddest of these baddies.
It's kind of, the displacer beast looks about as bad as the others, but it's like this is the trained attack dog of the group. This is not the brains of the operation.
Yeah, it's probably
But a
one of those back
formidable
ones.
opponent in its own right, certainly.
Sure, it's in front of me, so I will force lightning this creature.
Awesome. I would please like you to roll a theology check because you are doing this from your deity. This is going to be for a special effect. The difficulty is a 9 though because it's a special effect.
All right.
And then once you're done with that, I'll take your D100.
All right. Then, oh man. Oh yeah. No, I have one success.
One
Just
success.
one.
Great. Awesome. And your D100, please.
All righty then. It's a 47.
47.
Am I still blurred, by the way?
No, that's over now.
Figured, yeah.
A unicorn appears in this space next to you. I don't have a token for it, so we're going to use our imaginations.
Yes.
It shows up and it just kind of looks confusedly around and it gallops over to this corner and it lays down. So because you got one success, your force lightning is going to arc over to one additional creature. The displacer beast looks very injured.
Can I arc to this top left guy, or is it going to be the closest?
It's the closest. It arcs to this little guy, and because he was already damaged, that kills him.
Nice.
Anything else, Salvar?
I'm just doing the storm thing where my hair is all electricity up in the air and it's cool.
Perfect.
She needs to know that she's cool.
So which of the remaining demons looks like the big guy?
This guy is physically largest, but this guy looks like he has more brains.
I'm going to go after the physically largest one and tell me if this is incredibly stupid.
Excellent start.
I would like to draw both my short sword and my dagger, and then, acting like Kratos from God of War, proceed to tackle him, try to drive the blades into his shoulders, and then ride him around to try and tackle the other demon.
Okay, that's awesome. I'll allow it. But you are going to have to make a dexterity check to climb up, and you're going to need a sleight of hand to get the daggers exactly where you want them.
Okay.
So let's get the sleight of hand first, since you're sinking the daggers in. And this is Since it's a specific place that you're aiming for, this is going to be a 7 success.
Okay. 0.
All right, that does not work. But you do still manage to stab it, dealing more damage than you thought a single dagger stab would do. Maybe this demon isn't as strong as it looked. It's definitely bloody now. It was not a fan. Well, your dex check was to climb. Do you still want to climb on its back?
Yeah.
Then dex check.
Gotcha. And what was my difficulty?
For climbing up onto its back, that's not going to be super hard because it's hurt right now. So that's just going to be a 5.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, 3.
3 successes. You
Yep.
very easily clamber onto this monster's back. Anything else you would like to do?
I'm gonna whisper into its ear and say, "Saddle up, Seabiscuit, because we're going for a ride."
Oh my god.
All right. It is the bad guy's turn. First up, the one that you just stabbed. As you climb onto its back, he collapses onto the ground between his wounds and your weight. He cannot remain standing. This guy runs up and tries to attack Alvar because he's scared of lightning.
Oh,
And let's see if he succeeds.
that's scary.
That is 0 successes. He kind of like, so I don't know if you can see this token very well, but he's got like pinchy claws. So he just runs up and he's like, pinch, 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 pinch. But he misses you every time.
Cling, 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 cling.
And then finally, Displacer Beast, who did not like that, takes an action to teleport back here and tries to spit acid because it's not smart enough to understand that the wind is going to affect the trajectory of its acid. Ooh. So I just got a 10, which explodes into another 10, which explodes into a 9. So this is going to hit something, but it's not going to hit its intended target because of the wind. It is going to, I'm going to roll a 50-50 chance of it hitting Alvar or the other demon that's right in front of it. Odd, it hits Alvar. Even, it hits the demon in front of it. Even, it hits the demon in front of it. This pincer demon takes a full shot of acid and it eats through its carapace and it collapses to the ground, screaming in
Friendly
agony
fire.
as it
Sucks
dies
to suck.
painfully. Dead.
In the immortal words of the roly-poly elders, get good, scrub.
Right? Ezeldor, as you start to, I just saw the question, what's Marigold up to? Marigold is kind of like, she's still behind the group, like she's brandishing her dagger out in front of her, like she's gonna stab something, but she's not really sure how to get in there, so she hasn't moved yet. Ezeldor, as you raise your hands to prepare your next action, the beasts let out a mighty scream and they crumple to the ground, and inside of their crunchy insectoid carapaces, you can see their innards starting to melt. You feel that these demons have reached the end of their life cycle, just like the demons outside.
Does that include the one I'm currently standing on?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Roll a dexterity check to jump off of it without getting more gross goo on you.
What's my difficulty?
It's not very hard because you're in charge of the situation. It's just a 4. Being on its back is going to be pretty easy to jump off.
That's 7 successes with 2 rerolls.
Wow.
Oh my god, 7 successes.
You do a flip in the air.
You do a
And
flip in the
another
air.
reroll and another success.
You look so
do
cool,
a flip
dude.
in the air and you do a superhero landing.
I just
job.
look at everyone
Perfect.
around me, and also other question: is my short sword and dagger basically ruined from the acid that I assume I had on it when I stabbed him?
No, you all have really good quality steel that's going to be resistant to this kind of like basic disintegration stuff, but more natural stuff like leather and cloth is going to be more susceptible. It's not really going to eat through metal. Like if you clean off your sword, it's fine. If you left it on there for a day, maybe you'd start to see some issues.
Gotcha.
You probably don't want to wipe it on your clothes. You probably want for later to clean it off.
I just look at everyone else and it's like, so this was a fun day. Let's light this freaking beacon, guys.
Yep.
It's
So
the freaking beacon. We're about to have you some fun.
the center spiral staircase leads all the way up to the 3rd floor, where the beacon is.
Ooh.
Do you ascend?
Yeah, let's do
Let's
it.
go up.
Go.
As you
I see your note, Al. Yes, you can send Marigold to hang out with the unicorn. She will very excitedly go over and pet it.
Mhm. I will ask her to defend it well.
She
So-
brandishes her dagger and swears her life.
I kind of whisper in her ear and then like, while you're at it, kid, if you want, try and find some treasure in this place because I have a very strong feeling that the guys with flamethrowers are not going to be interested in paying us.
Okay, but I called on the gods and a unicorn appeared, so when you're crime divinity.
She looks
There's a
very
guy
confused.
Criminals.
So, as you ascend the spiral staircase, there is a metal pipe or column of some kind that goes all the way up the center that you're sort of circling around as you go up. The second floor is also pretty empty, so you can just keep going up to the 3rd floor. And when you arrive at the 3rd floor, you see that the central pipe terminates in the center of the space. The space is surrounded on each of those flat walls is a window. Essentially, it's a magnifying lens of some sort. And in the space, you see that there are 3 wheels that you could turn that seem to be connected to various contraptions, and there are 2 levers. The metal all seems a little rusty, unclean, and disused.
All right, wizards, big brain time.
Well, I have a pretty high investigation score, so I'm going to start taking a look and see what I can figure out.
Great. Roll investigation. It'll be
Okay.
difficulty 4.
Okay, 1 second. My investigation is 6. I'll roll 6 dice. Got 110, rolling again.
Great.
5 successes.
Wow. Well, you can tell that these, at least one of these wheels, possibly all 3, seem to connect to piping that comes off that interfaces with that large center pipe. There's in fact 1 wheel that's attached to the center pipe, and then there are 2 off to the sides. From your investigation, it seems like this is to release some sort of gas, and it does seem like the levers connect to some sort of flint and steel contraption.
So it might be safer to try lighting this thing by using these as opposed to going up and having someone hold a flame in front of it. Maybe safer. Who knows?
Just call lightning, something a light.
Well, the tower is stone, though. If it's wood, then you...
Mm.
I mean, the force from the blast might do something.
I am not gonna call. I don't mean that.
So I guess if we open this valve and have someone pull this lever, we might start a fire.
All right. Would you like to open?
Some fire?
Who would like to do what? It will be a 2-person job for the 1 wheel and the lever. If you want to do all 3 levers simultaneously, it is a 4-person job.
All right. What do we think requires a lot of like stamina to just keep holding on to something? Probably none of it.
Mhm.
I'll take one of the things. I'll take a lever.
I'll also take a lever.
I guess I'll take the valve and hope this isn't the death trap to kill off the adventurers so they don't have to pay them. But having said that, we all have to take one part of it.
I mean,
All right.
worst comes to worst, I will throw myself into the moat.
Great. So Alvar and Ralkir are both on levers. Ezeldor, what would you like to do while this operation happens?
Is there another lever or the valve? Which one is it?
There are 3 valves total, 2 levers. Rakius is handling the valve that is at the center that seems directly connected to the pipe. There are 2 other valves that are on sides of the room, opposing sides, and the 2 levers are also sort of centrally located.
I'll take another lever.
So the 2 levers are occupied. There is another valve wheel that you could do if you would like.
If you
Right.
want to take a lever, though, I don't care.
You don't?
What?
You don't care?
Yeah, no, if you want to take a lever, I'll take the valve instead.
All right, let's switch.
All right.
Great. All right. So everybody roll strength. Difficulty 5.
All right. Come on, Storm Lords.
I got 1 success. Oh, I got 1 success.
Successes for me.
How many for you, Ralkir?
2.
Great. Oh, and Ezeldor had a lot of successes. Excellent. Excellent.
I have 1 success.
1 success. Great. So, so Rakius, you turn the wheel and there's a hissing noise. Ezeldor, you pull a lever and you manage to spark a flame, and a flame does ignite in the center. Ralkir, Ezeldor was so successful, your efforts were appreciated but unnecessary. Al, you have turned another lever, and you hear another hissing noise. Turned another wheel, and you hear another hissing noise in the space.
I don't
That's
know
all.
that that's good.
But there is, in fact, a flame lit in the center of the space. You have successfully lit the beacon.
Cool. Maybe I'll just try closing this so we're not like leaving the gas stove on.
That is entirely up to you.
I mean, how destructive do we want to be at this juncture?
Not. There's going to be a festival here.
I mean, yeah.
Ezeldor is the destructive, so I don't know if he should weigh in.
Well, it's what's the worst that could happen? Let's
There's a. Do you want me to start?
yeah, go ahead.
Saying what the worst could happen, this thing could suddenly blow up. They could have a festival here, and after a gas leak has been going on for several days and weeks of preparation, then something could blow up. There's a lot of blowing up that could happen. Maybe some innocent life.
I think it adds an element of excitement. And hear me out.
Close it.
Oh.
What's a festival without fireworks?
Is this conversation happening in real time?
Yes.
Yes.
While you've been debating whether or not to close this, the flame has leapt up toward the ceiling, and you see it sort of ignite in the pipes that go along the outside of the room, which are a little more weathered than the central pipe. And so now there's a lot of jets of flame that are just sort of shooting into the room around you. They're not gonna hurt you. It's just an interesting aesthetic choice, you think.
Okay, maybe we
Ezeldur-
should shut the gas off.
Ezeldur, roll perception.
Thank God for
that
your
is-
eyes.
That is your seven dice.
I mean, I haven't even had to heal anyone yet. I might as well get ready for the burn wounds.
You have Ezeldur had many successes, including multiple exploding tens. So
Nice.
you perceive that the pipes in this contraption are definitely not as solid as they used to be. And all of these holes are not decorative functions, they're actually leaks. And so you perceive that would be a good idea to get the hell out of here.
Andrew, we're at the top of a tower, right?
Yes.
I
Are there
have,
windows?
They're covered in glass. They're all lenses.
Could I jump through one and dive for the moat?
It's so thick.
Tempered glass.
Yeah.
Also,
fine.
you don't know how
You're also 3
deep that
floors
is.
up, and the ceilings were 15 feet. So you're about 45 feet from the drawbridge to the water. It's probably 50 to 60.
It also won't take very long to go down the spiral staircase.
Let's have that.
I just kind of wanted the badass moment of jumping out before an explosion.
You just wanted to swan dive.
I have a special ability of a short range teleport. Can I use that right now?
Yes.
Yes.
You can absolutely teleport yourself 1 floor down. So you are now on the 2nd floor.
Okay.
Please roll a d100 for your wild magic effect.
Yes.
Did I do it? Am I down there?
Yes.
I see
So
it.
yes, you got a
10.
12. Wait, a 10. If that's the tens.
0,
Oh,
2. It's 2.
That's a 2. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a 2. Awesome. 2. As soon as you arrive, you lose concentration, and it's gonna take you a minute to regain your concentration to be able to cast spells again. You can still move as normal. You can still talk. You're just a little spacey and distracted for a minute.
Taking a moment, waiting for my friends to come down one flight.
Very
All
noble.
right. Are you all
Ralph here
fleeing?
will scream, "The wizard has abandoned us! Run, damn it, run!" And take off and sprint.
So if you're all fleeing,
Mm-hmm.
you all flee down the staircase. You get to
Scoop
the
up Marigold.
you get to the first floor. Marigold is gone, and so is the unicorn.
Do it!
That child better be off stealing from dead rich people.
I mean, eat the rich. I mean, what?
So,
Well, I mean,
and
it's
there's
already-
not really any place to hide on these floors, so she's just clearly no longer in this building.
Running out.
As you run out through across the drawbridge, you can sort of see light in between all of the stones of the tower. As it seems, more and more of the gas pipes are igniting.
We did a really good job at lighting this beacon.
All right.
Just shoddy construction work.
No,
I
it's
mean,
going to be the best light ever. It's going to be bright.
this is just really poor construction work, guys. I mean, who put this together? Blind
do we
gnomes?
think they've seen it? Do we think if I put out the beacon, we're still that's cool?
Oh, you feel like they can see the beacon, but you also know that your tech crew has mandated union breaks, and they may not be paying attention right now. It's been a little bit of time since you came to the village. They might be on a break. You feel like you should leave it lit for a little bit at least.
Okay.
I just look at the others and I'm like, so, want to go find the rich people neighborhood and take
I want to
everything
go.
that's not nailed down?
I want to go find Marigold.
All right,
Do-
fine. I'll go search the rich people houses.
So,
Fair enough.
So you're all leaving the center square.
Ezeldor, with your keen eyes, do you see any sign of where she might have gone?
I believe that she was headed towards the river.
Ah,
Uh,
you do in fact see hoof prints headed toward the river.
I think getting near water might be a good idea with this thing, burning like this.
Love that for all of us.
Yeah.
You can
All about
leave
some good
water.
water.
What?
So you all proceed towards the river?
Can I control weather as I go to like start getting some rain clouds about? So I'm not enough to like not a torrential downpour to put out the beacon, but like just priming it for a good drizzle to make things a little less flammable.
Yeah, you can absolutely create some water. Please roll your D100 for me.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
If the gas was being funneled up through the ground and those pipes go all the oh no.
Oh, so you asked what the worst could happen was.
Yes.
Great explosions.
Ralph Keir is going to run for the river and then dive into it like someone who doesn't want to burn to death.
So
Before you get to the river.
yeah,
14.
at first, as you go toward the river, the stones of the tower behind you start to separate and sort of start shooting off in one direction or another, and then the whole thing goes up in one giant flame, one giant column of flame that's in the center of town. So it really is the best beacon ever. And also, as you walk toward the river, you look a lot like heroes from a medieval action movie. Let's be real.
Nailed it.
You're walking in slow and/or fast motion away from a giant explosion. There are the flamethrower crew who's around there is looking at it and nodding approvingly.
And Al, your body and your gear take on a glassy appearance. You feel like it would be difficult for you to be pierced by ranged attacks.
Cool. Sick. I can dig it.
All right. So, Andrew, you ready for us to switch maps?
Yes.
All right.
We nailed this job, guys.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to see nothing for a minute. I'm going to drag your tokens out to where you are approaching from.
We murdered multiple demons. We rescued a child who I will now train in the ways of the shadows.
You just keep telling yourself that.
I also lost a child.
So as you
We did lose
approach
the
this
child.
courtyard that there were hoof prints going towards, you see that the Union crew is already there starting to set up stages because they got word from the fire crew that things were probably safe. And then as soon as you lit the beacon, initially, they were ready to go. So they're doing it. There are also hoof prints leading into the center of the square. And you see in the center, there's a unicorn. And there, seated upon the unicorn, is Marigold.
Everybody,
You're
please
safe.
roll a perception check.
If she's the big bad, I'm gonna cry.
And this, I'm not going to tell you what the DC is. This is a secret.
Ooh. I'm gonna bust out my gemstone dice for this because I want
I
it to be a
got 0
success.
successes.
Okay, perception is 5, rolling 5 dice.
Well, I got 2 1s, a 4, a 5, an 8, and a 9.
Thank you,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you.
Ezeldor, so perceptive.
Wow, Ezeldor, Rakias, and Raukir, you all notice the little girl's shadow stretch
No.
and distort and grow wings and tentacles and horns. Roll initiative.
And I think we're actually going to have to wrap up in just 1 second because we need to close up the theater.
At the child.
So, but before you do that, here is the first thing you see, and then you'll all get one action. There's a union guy who's on a break who's standing right next to Marigold, and you see her grab this guy and lift him somehow, and you see her jaw unhinge in a way that's terrifying, and this man's entire body somehow gets shoved into her body. She burps, wipes her mouth with the back of her hand, and then says, "I was still hungry."
I just look at the others and was like, see? And you all were shocked when I was going to threaten a child with a knife.
I had to try.
All right, so please roll awareness and give me the grand total of your awareness check. And let's go in a random order. Alvar, initiative, please.
Working on it. 20, 21, 27, 36.
36.
Rolled well this
Thank
time.
you. Ralkir, initiative, please.
17.
17. Thank you. Ezeldor, initiative, please. I see your initiative, 39. And Rakias, please.
29.
I'm sorry, was that 20 or 39?
29.
29, thank you. And Marigold. All right. Why isn't this displaying? There we go. Okay. Ezeldor, you are first. What would you like to do?
Let's see. I want to put on my magic armor just for old time's sake.
Awesome. Roll 2d10, please.
That's 10 and a 9.
You cast magic missile as a 5th level spell.
Ooh.
From your fingertips. Oh, do you get more missiles at 5th level? I think you do. I'm just gonna look this up real quick because it's gonna be cooler if I do. I promise.
How many D4?
For each level above 2nd, you get 1 more dart. So 3, 4, 5, 6 darts of magical energy shoot out of your fingers and slam into various parts of Marigold. And she looks really hurt. Like, whoa, I was not expecting that to happen. Good job, Ezeldor. And your as these missiles shoot out from you, you are engulfed in a glow of magical armor light. Would you like to do anything else?
I would just like to enjoy the moment of being surrounded by the light.
Nice. Next up is Alvar.
You're living up to the name. All right. So I am going to take my 30 feet of movement forward to just square up with her as close as I can. I know I probably won't get right up to her, but I just want to like be facing her a few,
Oh, you
like 10
can
feet
run.
away.
It's fine. This is not real D&D. This is
Yeah.
fun systems of mishmash that we put together.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And I'll take one step back from there because I'm gonna magic.
Cool.
And I'll just be like, this is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you, but it's gonna hurt you a lot. And with my brewing storm already ahead, although that probably doesn't give me a bonus in this game, I will call lightning from the sky,
Awesome.
holding
Please.
the symbol of my holy symbol in my hand that matches the symbol on the dagger that I gave her.
Okay. Please roll 1d100 for your wild magic and a second d100 for invoking your deity.
All right, so that's a 57 for wild magic.
All right, let's resolve that real quick.
Sure.
Your weapons burst into flames that do not harm you.
Cool. All right, flaming warhammer is coming next if she lives through this first round. All right, and I rolled a 21 for invoking the gods of the storm.
21 for invoking the gods. All right, I am going to.
Didn't know if low or high is good here for this
Nice.
divine intervention.
Neither. I'm rolling for the deity, and if you're within 10 points, you get it.
Cool.
And
Stressful.
let me tell you, like, I have to show you these dice because, like, dude, you said 21, right?
Yeah. Oh my god.
25. I think it's
The
backwards
storm is
because of
with me.
webcam, but 25, my friend. All right. So you call lightning, you call down the storm. Lightning strikes Mirabelle, and then your god, divine light, comes down from the heaven, even though you are far from the sea, even though your feet haven't touched water in days. Your deity comes to your aid and wraps Marigold up in divine energy, and she falls off of her horse to the ground. At which point, it is very easy to stab her to death.
And
And
so
Andrew,
you
I believe.
Yeah,
Like,
and
just
so
walk
you
over
do.
and do that.
Valkyr.
And
Time to
so
stab a kid.
Relker does what he intended to do this whole game, which is stab a little girl to death.
Turns
And
out
as
his
he-
instinct was right.
As he does, she explodes in light across the square, does not injure you, but clears out a bunch of the bodies, and the stagehands who are setting up stages nod in approval, and then take their union break and go get donuts. And you have victoriously prepared the town of Fringington for the festival. Congratulations,
That's what
everyone.
you guys would have done if I would have just yeeted the knife at her on instinct when we first met.
We would have had a 2-hour-long boss fight.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole session would have become combat if that happened.
Yeah. Thanks so much for
She would
playing,
have
everyone.
like bust out of her little girl skin and resumed her normal demon form.
Yeah, it would have been very different session, very impressive. Thank you so much for playing, everyone. That was a
Thank
lot of
you
fun for
for
us. I hope it
DMing.
was for you too.
Thank you.
Thanks for
And
running.
now we have to end this so that Zach can kick Chase and Trip out of the theater and everyone can go home and sleep. Thanks for playing, everyone.
Go see
Really
Tech
appreciate
Show
it.
on the internet.
Thanks for playing,
Yay! Yes.
everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night, everyone.